So, I'm sure we've all seen that check on your strong friend post before, right? Check on your strong friend. And the other day, a friend of mine made a post. um, Basically, what do you do when you check on your strong friend? Like, you'll check on your strong friend and they're going to say, I'm good. I got this. I'm okay. And you know them well enough to know they're not okay. They will be because they're going to continue working. They're going to continue put it out, until they are. But right now, in the moment, they're not. And what do you do? Like, how do you help them? And being that strong friend, um, we get to a point sometimes where, or not sometimes, often, where we feel more comfortable helping everybody than getting help. And it's a difficult thing because we want the help, we just don't really know how to ask for it. We really don't know how to receive it, which is a big reason why we give it, because we know what it feels like or what it would feel like if we got it. And we don't want nobody to be in a position where they have to ask. And if you're my friend and you've mentioned a situation or anything to me, I've, without hesitation, probably try to give you a solution. Like, sometimes you might have to tell me, dude, I got a solution. I'm good, because I know what it feels like to want someone to help and they're not helping. So I had to start working on not force feeding people solutions, because not everybody wants one, especially women. Different topic of conversation though. But few things that has worked for me, being a strong friend and checking on a strong friend. More important than anything, and I'm reading my actual comment. So, more important than anything, know your audience, meaning know who you're talking to. Because when you know them, then it's easier for you to do the next few steps. So, know your audience, because the reality of it is nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So when you're checking on your strong friend or the strong friend, make sure you're establishing that you care. You're not coming there for any other reason but to check on them. So if you do that, the way you do that, listen intensely. Listen to what they're saying, but listen to what they're not saying. Empathize. Acknowledge, their emotions and how they feel, and apply accordingly. Like, if they're beating themselves up, like, let them finish, and then begin to remind them of how much they've accomplished, because we all tend to be our toughest critic and we forget to be our biggest cheerleader. So remind them, like, hey, yeah, you do have a lot to do. You have a far way to go. You do. I didn't realize that, because look at what you've done. Where'd you start? What did you have? Like, you started from nothing, and now you're this, and you have that. You've accomplished. Like, when you start helping give them a different perspective on what they've done, it's easier for them to receive. Like, oh shoot, I did do that. Oh yeah, yeah. You can let them have their little pity party, let them feel what they feel, and just give them a different perspective. Like, it's okay, be whatever you are right now, feel it, embrace it, and then release it. Like, control it. Do what you can so that you don't have to be here again. Or if you are here again, it's not because you like the effort. It's probably just because you're feeling overwhelmed and you need a reminder. And that's what your friend is here for. I got you, baby. Second thing is, if possible, use a memory. Any memory, but a good one. No, not any memory, but any good memory. Any memory where they were really enjoying themselves, that you know of, because if they're your friend, they're a strong friend, you know of that time. When you use that, you'll have them answering questions. You want to ask them certain questions that kind of make them remember good times. So have them describe to you in detail, a moment when they really enjoyed themselves. It could be a vacation, it could be a meal, a birthday party, it could be any of those things. Have them start describing it to you as if you don't remember. You was there, you just don't remember. Yo, what was I wearing that day? Oh yeah. Wait, what you had on? Yo, that dress was bad. Or the shoes you had on. What was that cologne you had? Bro, that cologne was dope. Like, so when you're asking them that mentally, psychologically, they have to revisit it. So their brain starts to relive it. And so if you pay attention when they're describing it, you'll see they might start to smile a little bit. They're going to start to get a little bit more vibrant in their character because they're reliving a good moment. And so you're helping them remember you're more than just this moment that we're experiencing right now. I know stuff is tough, but you're tougher. You've always been tougher. And let me remind you, let me help you remember how amazing you are, despite what you're feeling right now. And it may not even be that they forgot, but it's just that this moment is so overwhelming that they can't see past it. So helping them remember some good times is going to always be good, because when you force them to describe it to you, it's you allowing your strong friend to be your strong friend, because you're not giving them anything, they're giving it to you. But in order for them to give it to you, they got to be able to revisit it. And then, so it's like you're asking something of them, but it's their benefit. And it's a great hack. It works like nobody's business. It works. But you have to know them well enough to ask them so that they can, you got to do it, cater to who your audience, cater to who it is you're talking to. Because the same thing ain't going to work on everybody. The idea works, but you can't execute it the same way as what I was getting to, just in case there's any ambiguity. So, have them remember, or mention or describe in detail, the smell, the food that they were eating, the taste of the food that they were eating, the drink that they had, the bartender that gave the drink, the waiter, have them describe all those things until you start to see their mood change. And if their mood don't change, pick another event. But pick something that was of time they really enjoyed themselves. Not you, them. And it'll help. Sometimes discussing the solution and just reminding them that the objective is, it can provide a different perspective. Because they may be like, oh my dang, I gotta do all this stuff. It's like, yeah, you do, because when you finish doing this, then you have that, and when you finish with that, then you get this, because we're doing this, and this, so that we can get that. Oh, okay, you're right. For some people who are entrepreneurs, you have those days where you're like, God dang it, man, but then you remember why you do it, because you don't necessarily want the money, because you do want the money. I ain't gonna front, we do want the money, but not really. People that's trying to be financially free don't really care about the money. We care more about the freedom. If there's a way that I can have the freedom without the money, then sign me up, baby. But when you are trying to get into that life where you can be financially free and your time is your time and you still have the money to live the way you want to live, so then you got to start making certain sacrifices, and it can become overwhelming. And it's like, jeez. And sometimes you just need somebody to give you a different perspective and something that can remind you, okay, why I'm doing it. So this one is the toughest, because it's for me too. And I felt like I had to go and meditate after I wrote this, because this one is really, there's gonna be times when your strong friend has no idea what they need or want in that moment. May even want to stay in that darkness, because there's been moments where I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to sit and be sad or be depressed. And when you have a friend like that you don't really know how to help, they don't know how to help themselves, and they don't even know how to ask for the help. If there's a body of water anywhere, get them to it. They ain't gotta get in there, but get them near the water. Let them just sit and say nothing. Just be there. And if it's possible, take your shoes off, walk on the grass, in the mud, you can always clean your feet. There's soap and water everywhere, so you can always clean it off. But doing that, one or both, it helps. You don't have to say anything. And if it's your strong friend, trust me when I tell you, you have to present it like you need it. Because if you present it like you need it, they're gonna do it. But if you're like, I need you to do this for you, nah, we would suffer on our own until we get out of it. But we're not gonna let somebody we care about suffer. And I don't even know how to fix that. I know it's a problem. I know. But for the people that love their strong friends and have strong friends, try that and see what works. See how it goes. The last one that I have is just hug them. You don't have to say anything. But when if you know they're going through something and you can hear it or you see it or you're aware of it because somebody else shared it with you but you're not supposed to know, just go hug them. But don't be the first to let go. And if they're a little resistant to the hug or if they're resistant to anything, I promise you, if you present it like you need it, it's different. It's you'll see a difference. And their response is where you'll see the difference because they're not going to want to let you down. They're going to want to be there for you because you need it. And even if they don't have much to give, they're going to try to give you what they have. And the beautiful thing about this is you don't need them. You know they need you and they don't know how to ask. So you got to be there and you got to show up and just exist and let them be there. And if they can't get out of it, I promise you, get them around some water. Have them take their shoes off and walk with you. Tell them you read about this and you want to do it, but you're like whatever you got to say to them, because everybody say I'm gonna be dishonest. You don't want to be like, man, look, if lying to me is gonna help me get out a place that could potentially kill me, lie. Do whatever you got to do, get me out of there. You can tell me the truth later. You think I'll forgive you for it, but sometimes we need people to pull us and save us from ourselves, because we'll continue to go and push until we can't no more. And it's not intentional. That's just how some people are. Like, we're not trying to destroy ourselves. We just don't know another way. And having people that care about us that know other ways is a beautiful thing. And sometimes you don't know how to share the other way. Hopefully this helps. Thank y'all for listening.